Hey everybody, this is Ramathon doing part 2 of Let's Play Amnesia. Now this is Amnesia the Dark Descent. This would be the first one. There's no real scares in the first video, little creepy moments, but nothing really bad. So let's get started on part 2 and hope that we get some scares in this one. A fragrant taste of rose lingered in his mouth. Turkish delights, he thought. Just like the ones at the... I didn't finish reading it. Definitely some strange noises in here. Sanity is still good. My head is pounding and hands are shaking. It's not too bad though. Put some oil in my lantern. My health is still good. So not doing too bad so far.
What was that?
There should be more coop rats. Let me see. And one part aqua force.
This is my third attempt to produce artificial vitae. The former compounds lacked the potency I need, but I sense I'm close. Calamine and orpiment are a given, and the culprit binds them well. This time I will attempt aqua regia instead of aqua forte, and hope it will produce a more even solution. The experiment was unsuccessful. The solution is highly acid and proves unpractical to put to any use except as a detergent. Organic tissue reacts especially violently to the solution and should be handled with greatest care. I might be able to use the recipe, but I'm losing hope that I will find an alchemic solution to my predicament. What is that? One day I will return. If it wasn't for the thought of you, my love, I wouldn't be able to go on. When I find myself doing terrible things, I take comfort in you. As long as I am able to think of you and long for a life together, I know I'm better than the others. I weep for them. They lust for power without restraint, where I only crave fair judgment and a safe return. And here's something to my left. Okay, nothing there. Okay, apparently I can't take that. Definitely hear footsteps. Yep, there's something down there in the water. Here, have this. The lack of chimney to properly vent the fumes from my most recent experiments has taken its toll on many of my less stable ingredients in storage. Some seem unaffected, but many are stained by fumes and will be difficult to salvage. I shall do what I can and move them to the wine cellar. So I guess I need to find the wine cellar. There's here there's not even a door. Just see if that stays lit, because I got a feeling lighting this stuff is almost useless for the most part. Because I think I'm going to come back and it'll probably be blown out or something. But it's a place that I know I have to come back to, so I figure might as well try lighting them, and hopefully they stay lit. Came from the old archives. So let's see what is to the left here. I've already been here too. Up top maybe? That way is obviously boarded off. Archives. Not old archives, but archives. And this way is boarded off. So let's try the archives. Okay, I'm definitely hearing things in here. Try this door, or this room here without a door first.
May 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way late into the dark, cold night. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
I hereby offer my full attention and services to Alexander, Baron of Brenningburg. This contract will reign for a total of 3 years, when my freedom shall return to me. In addition, Alexander, Baron of Brenningburg, is to recommend my services at the Prussian, who knows, royal court, and within the sanctum of the Order of the Black Eagle. May no man break this seal. Wilhelm, House of Garage. The fuck is that?
"17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
Okay, maybe I should not have broke that. Sanity still isn't too bad, it's doing pretty good. Huh. Try the hallway in a minute. First, let's go. The hell was that? Blood dripping boulders. Back on the left. Okay, so apparently a cave in right there.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
Okay, so there's one. Two. Three. Another region rich with flora is Altstadt, deep within the East Prussian woods. For centuries, there have been stories surrounding this hamlet and its neighbor Castle Brennenburg. The quiet forest-clad mountains dressed with the scattered lakes as picturesque as can be. Albeit, the area is haunted by the dark. Ask any local and you will hear the proof of the widespread superstition. All travelers should indulge themselves in such conversations, since it will certainly serve as exciting entertainment. All of them have their own twist on the tales, but there are some motifs that keep reappearing. The story reaches all the way back to the time of the 30 Years' War. It is said that soldiers who abandoned their duty got lost in the cold, dark woods and were forever damned to roam the grounds. Their bodies, wrought by their tainted souls, have left them disfigured and empty of essence. Many have cited them over the years and described them as horrid revenants. They move silently through the woods, shying away from any beholder. They are called gatherers, as they seem to follow some ambition to steal living creatures. It is the prey which can be heard struggling inside damp burlap sacks dragged behind them, which reveal their presence. What dark scheme do they follow? Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, the well-known erudite, visited Altstadt at the start of the 16th century. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight as he looked for remnants of kingdoms past. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice, and he is mentioned in many records of the time. One day he went to investigate a burrow in the northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. Heinrich is known to have passed away in Grenoble some 10 years later. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Altstadt, which makes you wonder what really happened. Who was this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods, and what happened to him? The Baron of Brennenburg lives a reclusive life with his family at the castle nearby Altstadt, and like most those noble birth, rumors are inherited alongside with the title. Researching the history reveals little before the castle was consumed by fire in the late 16th century. It was rebuilt by Alexander, a nobleman from the Rhinelands, claiming the role as protector of the Prussian state. Alexander helped the region to flourish and remain popular throughout his presumed lifetime. The family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage. Therefore, the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring has never been fully recorded. This has fed the idea that the Baron is in fact the one and the same who came from the west over 300 years ago, lived through that time of occupation, and joined the coveted Order of the Black Eagle along with the great leaders of this country. A little bit of backstory there. Sorry if you don't like the reading, please just skip it. And if you don't like it, comment it in the comments and I won't do it in future videos. Okay, that's a potential hiding spot there. Regarding closing of the wine cellar, Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of the human vessel. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. It's just a matter of time until they follow the trail to Brennenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off until the matter has been handled. Either the king's men leave, or they will starve. Whatever comes first, they can rot for all I care. Maybe I will feed them some wine It would, in sense, solve both of my problems. Alright guys, that is all the time we have for that video. If you enjoyed the series thus far, please stay tuned. There will be more videos. And once again, as always, if you have any tips or suggestions, comment below. If there's anything you'd like to see me play, comment that in the comments and I'll get to it as soon as I can. And until the next video, y'all take care.